SnackTrack is an iOS application created by Brittany Palmer and Christian Patel. Clicking on the main home screen, you arrive at the app's main feature, which is the food analysis. To test it, you simply go to the bottom of the screen and choose your picture, either from the camera roll or photo library. As you can see, various photos produce extremely different results. Christian and I have learned that the professionalism of the photo and whether the food looks similar to what typically plays a large role in whether it can predict the items accurately or not. Now, let's talk about how we made it. Unlike other programming languages, Swift makes coding easier with automated classes and a more visual setup. Here we have the main project folder. It holds all the basic information above the app, such as identity, signing, which is used if one would like to post to the App Store, and launching options for the app itself. The main source of the app can be found in the folders below. CoreML is Apple's version of Google Vision. Unlike Google Vision, however, CoreML allows the programmer to teach specific items. Therefore, you can make various models to recognize animals, flowers, or in this case, food. Because we were novices to AI programming, we did use a pre-made model from GitHub. However, we also created a basic model as shown here. The first few lines of code set up a foundation, which is the camera software needed for CoreML and Vision, which help identify food. The UI kit is needed for user interface interactions. The class ViewController creates a view controller, which I will mention later in the video. The setup camera function looks for and initializes media outlets of device. In the file, we utilize the video class. Function capture output is called every time a frame is captured. It will read for the object using UNI image and request handler, which will, using the CoreML model, decipher the frame. Below are labels for the user to see the item described, and an example of this code in action can be found below. The Apple Delegate folder holds all opening apps. This is the default file added to every Xcode project. This file is used to respond to app-related messages, for example, when the app has finished launching or when its foreground or background status has changed. The View Controller, or VC, is the page the user sees. This file specifically is the camera button, as shown on the second page. The first few lines are the buttons for the user, such as the camera roll or photo library. The second set of lines is the camera request, such as the photo layout, and importing our CoreML data into the program camera. Here is the main storyboard file, and this is where you can see what the app is going to look like in person. So here we have our JPEG file, which you can access from the top board. Apple makes it very easy to use all their objects, as it's very click and drag. So you can just take the object that you want to use and move it to whichever file, and you can customize it to different extents. So you can add things such as labels, buttons, text fields. In our case, we just used a button to keep it simpler, and then we connected the two frames, the view controller, to a second one. And in this view controller, we have our label, our text, our UI image view, which contains the picture, and then the bottom text, which also holds the code for using the camera and the photo library. Assets is where you use for app customization. So here we have a SnackTrack background, which we use for the back of the app, and then you can upload various items to put in your app. These came included in the CoreML demo, which we did not utilize. The launch screen storyboard we never use, so I'm unaware of what it does. Info plist is a very important part of Apple software. Specifically, this is where majority of privacy issues will be announced. So as seen, this is also where I put my app image. And also, this is where you need to access privacy. So these two applications we use for privacy media library to use the cameras and to also take pictures. And this is the image we use for our app, which you can see in the demo.